Greetings, YouTube. As most of you probably know by now, the U.S. government has arrested and is currently holding Mahmoud Khalil on charges of being a terrorist. Why? Because he protested in favor of Palestinian people. Now, they can't tell you what crimes he broke. And I've heard an interview, and I'll give credit to the interviewer because even though she works for NPR, she actually pushed at the spokesperson for the Trump administration, and she kept asking like, "What crimes?" And his response was, "Well, you can tell if it's by watching him on television." No, I said, "Well, no, then explain it to us." And he repeatedly referred to it as being a visa issue, and she kept pushing back and saying he is a permanent U.S. resident with a green card. And he kept saying it's a visa issue, and she kept saying he's a permanent U.S. resident with a green card. And he would not break script. He told her nothing. So someone is being held for no reason other than they spoke out in favor of the Palestinian people. And the spokesperson for the Trump administration, um, as is very common among red caps, is conflating Palestinian with Hamas. Now, it is true that most members of Hamas are probably Palestinians, but shockingly, most Palestinians are not members of Hamas. Just as, all poodles are dogs, not all dogs are poodles. Just as you could be an Israeli citizen and not support the Zionist government. You could be a U.S. citizen and not support the current Nazi regime. Just because you are a member of a people does not mean you are connected to the political organizations within that nation. So you can be Palestinian and despise Hamas. You can be Israeli and despise the actions of the Netanyahu government. You can be an American and despise the actions of the Trump administration. And I'm really tired of red caps and members of the Trump administration uh, conflating that all Palestinians are members of Hamas or support Hamas, because that's absolute bullshit. They don't. There are lots of peace-loving Palestinians who would just like you to stop killing them. And now it's an atrocity what happened to happened to the Israelis, the crimes committed against them by Hamas. But Israel has killed more than 40,000 Palestinians. Do you think that's enough blood? Do you think they've taken enough revenge? The Palestinian government sure as shit doesn't think so. Trump wants to kick all Palestinians out of Gaza and turn it into some kind of resort town. Mar-a-Lago writ large, which of course he'd probably bankrupt because he was able to bankrupting more than one casino. Worst business person that was ever born. So please, if you're a red cap and hearing this, understand that not all Palestinians support nor are members of Hamas. They are not necessarily connected any more than if you're a red cap, while you may be an American, you sure as shit aren't moral.